This is a breaking news alert.
We are about an hour into a situation that we have been following for you as breaking news. What we know right now is that there was some sort of shooting at this location. This is the Pentagon transportation hub. It's where the metro station is. It's where the buses drop off tens of thousands of passengers over a day coming and going. It is a very busy spot. And about, we are told, just before 11 o'clock, there was some sort of shooting there. And apparently a number of people were hit. There are a couple of reports that confirm several sets of gunfire, in fact. A Associated Press reporter reported there, apparently at the time, that a fusillade, a number of shots fired. Don't know from, if it was back and forth, but it stopped for a second and then the shooting started again for a short period of time. And at one point, the Associated Press reporter heard someone shout, "Shooter." And very shortly thereafter, then the emergency response began. And that area on the right-hand side of your screen became just absolutely clogged with first responders. The flashing lights numbered probably into the double digits easily there. Much of that has dissipated now because apparently we're told that the wounded have been taken to a number of facilities around the region, one of which we've been watching carefully is this one here. This is the George Washington University Hospital Medical Center in Northwest D.C., just off Thomas Circle there. And we've been watching the motorcycle cops sort of form up there outside, which tells us that there could be some sort of a motorcade, if you will, at some point. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on it. We do know that a number of people there have been taken to that scene for treatment, although apparently the people who have been injured have been taken to a number of facilities around the region, as you would expect.
And we did hear that several of the people who are injured required CPR. We also are hearing that one of the victims may be a police officer. We don't have that confirmed. But we were talking to Brad Garrett, with a former FBI agent, and he said that he's pretty sure the cameras all over the place probably captured some images. So police probably have some video to go on as far as who they're looking for, whether it's multiple suspects and in what direction they may have fled. We did see police choppers over the scene trying to locate suspects. And right now, what we're hearing is going on at that transit center is this: police are going to have to assess the area for any physical evidence. They're looking for things like shell casings, and they may need to reconstruct the shooting event, so they're going to have to mark it. And he said all of this could take several hours, so this could be a long event. Our Victoria Sanchez, she is on the scene as well. Victoria, what's it looking from your vantage point right now?
Thank you so much, Captain. I'm just speaking with Captain with Arlington County Police, and what we're seeing right now is this is one of the commuter lots. There's two commuter lots at Eads and Army Navy Drive. Police are looking into the cars. I just spoke with police captain. He says they're not looking for suspects. They're just looking to secure the area. So right now, at least in this area, they're not looking for anybody. But police are going door to door to make sure there's no one in the lot. That's probably because they're going to be shutting this lot down. They already shut down the lot, which is just across the street. So now that the Pentagon is secure and people are coming out, they're walking out and cars are coming out of the parking lot on the Pentagon property itself. This area is shut down. So if you want to go on 395, that is shut down here at Army Navy Drive. And it extends over to where the Pentagon Mall is. This area is not an area you want to be right now. There's a lot of police activity. Let's turn around this way, Ben, just to show you the amount of police officers that are here. We have Arlington County Police, we have the sheriff, we saw Park Police, we saw federal law enforcement. I believe I saw ATF. And again, there is one woman that they were talking to, a witness to this shooting. She is an employee of Metro. She's still here. She was visibly shaken up as police were talking to her, asking her what she saw. She was giving a description of somebody, but that's about all I heard. Again, if you have a car in this parking lot, which is at Eads and Army Navy Drive, this area is going to be shut down. Police are going through, making sure there's nobody here. Right now, it is a calm scene, although you do see a lot of lights and sirens. Again, here we have Pentagon Force Protection Agency coming through with their lights on. Other than that, it is calm, which is good news because they're not looking for anybody, at least in this area. There will be a staging area, I was being told by the police captain, probably in this area. We'll get more information as soon as we can. Not a whole lot of information coming out from this area, but it does look like people are finally being allowed out of the Pentagon after this shooting. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
And I think that is a significant event in the timeline here. Victoria, many thanks. One of the things from the picture that we're seeing there on the right-hand side, just before we went to Victoria, to my eye, I saw one of those large white mobile command post vehicles pulling into that far lot over there. This was something that Brad Garrett was talking about before, about the need to centralize the command and control operation, and likely it's one of several, because we're at some considerable time into this incident now, but I'm almost certain that that's what I saw drive in over there at that far lot at the Pentagon. And so that just confirms what our Brad Garrett was talking about too. Let's go back real quickly, if we can, to the street just outside the emergency entrance to George Washington University Hospital Center there now. Tom Rousey is standing by for us over there at that point. Tom, we're looking at that phalanx of MPD mobile officers, the cops on motorcycles, which is kind of a concerning event. What are you hearing where you are right now?
Well, I'm just going to be able to give you a different vantage point and give you some context on where this happened, Dave. This is the southeast parking area of the Pentagon, and you can get a sense as Joe, our photographer here, zooms in, just the huge response by fire and police and ambulances. It's still a very active scene, but as far as where this actually happened, it was close to the bus bays off to the right. And basically every silver or gray curved canopy you see, that's over the bus bay. If you've never been to the Pentagon bus bay, I can tell you it's one of the largest probably bus areas in the area. What happens is folks can go up and down from the metro station, and then they go to the bus area, and not only metro, but a lot of the county bus lines use it, and a lot of people transfer to buses there. So it is a very busy area, and even during the pandemic, a lot of folks there, and you can see some of the activity going on in this shot where we just zoomed in, all those folks right there, part of this scene. So again, what this bus bay is it's a spot. It was actually a major spot too a couple years ago when they shut down some metro stations. A lot of buses were going straight there, and then people would get on the metro at the Pentagon, so a lot of people used it then. But even during the pandemic, this is something a lot of people would use to transfer between metro and bus, and it's used by a lot of people that don't even work at the Pentagon. So it's not just Pentagon employees who use that area, and that's the area where this happened in. And it's certainly been less busy during the pandemic, but I imagine most days it is still busy because just so many people would use this as a transfer point. So again, that's the situation here. And actually, Joe, if you pan a little to the right, we can see there are still some buses just sitting there, presumably not moving for now in the bus bay. There's a metro bus and also another vehicle that I'm not 100% sure where that's from, that's multi-colors there. But you can also, to the right of it, see a metro bus just still sitting there near the scene of where this happened earlier this morning. That's what's going on from kind of the southeast side of the Pentagon. Right now, we're reporting live. I'm Tom Rousey. Back to you, Dave.
Hey, Tom, real quickly, too, remarkable to look at the amount of activity still going on in that bus bay area there. Could have been, 20, 25, even more than that people still. If there's a focus of the investigation, you would have to think it is in that place right now, because here we are an hour and a half after this maybe happened, they're still there. And there's the picture right there between, as we zoom on in, you can see huge investigation going on there now. Tom, talk to, because you're our transportation expert here. cameras. Brad Garrett, a former FBI agent who's so valuable in times like these because he has a big picture look at what's going on. He says he's confident that there is coverage, as we would say there. There are cameras that record just about everything that goes on. It is likely, wouldn't you think, that whatever this is that happened at some point is being viewed by a camera and hopefully recorded?
I would think so, Dave. Yeah, I mean, we don't know that for certain yet, but I would guess based on the number of cameras, not just from the Pentagon, but of course Metro puts cameras on their buses. So this could have potentially been caught by multiple cameras, maybe the Pentagon's, maybe one or two from Metro as well. So it certainly would stand to reason that's very possible. This was caught by at least one camera, maybe multiple, depending on exactly what area it happened in. But yes, again, super busy bus bay. You're talking the Pentagon, which obviously has a lot of security cameras. You're talking Metro, which has a lot of security cameras. So it would stand to reason you would think a camera would have either captured what happened or very close to it, but we don't have that confirmed 100% yet, Dave.
Sure.
And Tom, you know, we were hearing that the Pentagon Metro Station closed, and we're also hearing that now L'Enfant Plaza is closed. Does that say anything to you? I mean, does that say that perhaps police are thinking that maybe one of the suspects hopped on Metro as an escape route?
You know, Melanie, I'm just not sure at this point. I don't have that information for you, unfortunately, but certainly it is a little unusual that they would also close L'Enfant as well. I'm going to be reaching out to them here to try to figure out why that is. But of course, that's a major transfer point where people would then get on the green or yellow lines. And if you get on the yellow line from there, you could head down this way if you take it to the south. But yes, that is a little strange, I will admit. And I'm definitely going to be reaching out to them when we're done with this live shot and try to figure out why that is.
And we're also hearing that there will be a news conference happening soon, and it's near the scene where you are. You said you're at the southeast side of the Pentagon. Do you see anything that looks like people are forming for that news conference?
No, but it's although it's close to where we are, it's a little bit away from where we would be able to see from here, at least from what I'm hearing as far as where the location will be. So no, I'm not seeing that yet, but I wouldn't from this exact vantage point, Melanie.
Victoria Sanchez was just reporting that some people were actually allowed to leave the Pentagon now, and that they were coming into the parking lots and getting in their cars and leaving. Are you seeing some of that activity as well?
I was earlier, and actually, Joe, I don't know if you can see anybody leaving the Pentagon property from where you're at, but a lot of folks, if you go to the left where the bridges are, there's bridges, so near the Pentagon, and you can take a car underneath these bridges for $3.95 and kind of exit the Pentagon property. Earlier, I saw a number of people who were exiting outside leaving the Pentagon underneath those bridges. So that's one of the ways you can walk out. And actually, the parking lot where Victoria is right on the other side of the underpass there. So that's where she is, just to give you a context of things here.
Tom Rousey, thanks, and we know you'll get back to reporting. Let us know if you learn more.